over some efficiency tips for rowing on the Concept 2 rower. So we use this a lot in CrossFit workouts. It's also great for aerobic conditioning. It's a full body workout every single time you do it. And there's a lot of things that small little tweaks could go a really long way for you. So today, Pat's gonna take you through some efficiency tips. One, hopefully it'll help you maybe enjoy this machine a little bit more, or two, it might help your workouts. So I'm gonna be the demo girl and he's gonna take over the video.
All right guys, so recently we have been working on Christy's rowing. Leading up to the games, that's something that we could improve upon a little bit, and we have done so already. So we're gonna try to give you guys some tips and advice to make your rowing a little bit better and more efficient. Starting with our foot positioning, we want the ball of her foot where the ribs of these little plastic pieces are, so that when she comes in and retracts, it's a natural spot for her foot to bend. So she's got a pretty small foot, her position is on a 2. I'm like a 9.5 shoe, and I prefer like a 3. So if that gives you guys any sort of reference for where you might like that, hopefully that's helpful. Second thing she's gonna do here, strap down, tighten in, and let's go ahead and grab the rower handle. And once she pulls that out, we don't really ever wanna pass this position again where that clip of the rower is. She's already doing a really good job keeping a nice flat back here. So what that means is we are not reaching and rounding in. That does 2 things for us when this happens. One, it makes it really hard for us to breathe. So especially if it's a long row, this is an inefficient position to be in where we are collapsed down on top of our lungs, and it makes it really hard to breathe and catch a good breath. Also, it's just a compromised position. So that is obviously not a strong position. We wouldn't want to deadlift from that position. We wouldn't want to pull from that position. So she's got a nice flat back, meaning her legs are going to be doing the work. Let's start our pull. And she goes legs first, completely extended before she even starts to bend her arms. So this is a leg-driven movement followed by our arms. The order of operations is going to be arms or legs, arms. On the way back in, it will be arms, legs. So let's see a couple strokes there. Nice. Good. Let's go ahead and rest. So you guys may be familiar or used to other things like thrusters, wall balls, where naturally we drive with our legs and we finish with our arms. Though we're not pushing, we're pulling here, the same exact thing applies. She's driving with her legs and then finishing with her arms. And she's keeping herself in a good position to do that. So the next thing that we want to talk about is our upper body positioning, whether that's coming in too far or leaning too far back. We're gonna be somewhere between an 11 when we come in and a 1 o'clock when we go out. So Christy, if you wanna grab the rower handles. When she comes in, this is as far as she will ever come and reach towards the rower. Then she's gonna row back, pause when you get to the end of your row. 1 o'clock is gonna be her finish position. We see people going the extremes of both ways, which only becomes more inefficient. So anything past this, she's losing all power, and now she's gotta use her abs and her core to get back up and in. So some people like to think that that creates a nice long stroke and they're getting more out of each pull, but anything that is eliminating efficiency is doing you more harm than it is good. And I say that efficiency, especially on the rower, will always outweigh power output unless it's just a dead sprint for something super short. So what we want to focus on here is efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. All right, so with order of operation again, we're talking about legs, arms, arms, legs. And that applies for anything else that we do. And I think mostly with deadlifting or something like that, it seems much more natural for us to go back down with the weight first. So our arms go before our legs. We obviously wouldn't hold a deadlift up here, retract with our legs, and then let our arms down. So Christy's gonna show us what we talk about when we're saying a mixed order of operation. So let's go legs, arms, arms, legs. So that is a not good order of operation. We're losing all of our power and efficiency there. So we want to drive with our legs and get our arms back in as quick as possible so that the chain retracts, that's the word I'm looking for, back in as quickly as possible so that then we can use our legs to push once it is retracted. So with our efficiency, there's some tools and things that we can set up to kind of self-regulate if we're being efficient and in good positions with our rowing. And something we've actually been doing lately with Christy is setting up a barrier to where she's not reaching too far and she's staying in a good position. So reaching past this rower clip that we talked about becomes a weak, inefficient position. So what we've done as of recently is actually taken one of these parallettes, set it up right next to the rower, and the entire time she's rowing, this sits here, and it doesn't allow her to pass that. So if she gets tired or reverts back to bad habits, she touches that, she knows she's going too far. So it's a really easy way for you to self-regulate a good rowing stroke. Another way that you guys can self-regulate yourself to see if you're being efficient or inefficient with your rowing is paying attention to the actual chain of the rower. If you pull out and come in and the chain starts wobbling or has a bunch of slack in it, that means you're being inefficient and your in-stroke is going to be too quick. We want the fastest way from point A to point B is obviously a straight line. So we want to be coming a direct in, a direct out. So that also means not going out and around my knees and down. It is a straight to our sternum, straight back into the rower handle. Nice straight chain here. And let's see going around your knees. And let's see going in too fast with the chain wobble. So as an endurance athlete, Christy's got a little bit more of a challenging time creating that chain wobble, but for the more powerful guys, they actually do themselves a disservice by pulling too hard and retracting when this chain starts wobbling and we've got nothing but tension in there. So if we're moving faster than we're getting a benefit from, we're doing more work than we actually have to. Something else that we want to think about in that same regard is not pausing at our pull. So when she takes her full pull and comes to the end of her pull, right there, we don't want to pause. So what that's doing is letting the fan slow down. We want to retract in with our arms fairly quickly, then go with our legs so that we can keep the fan speed going. This is a machine and there's a way you can game the machine. So to think about that the fan is moving and we want to keep that fan moving. So the faster we get the fan spinning, we want to keep it going. If we pause at our chest when we do the pull, it allows the fan to slow down, and now we've got to start from more or less scratch or at least a lower point to build that fan speed up. So with efficiency, and what we're talking about is getting the fan going, whatever that speed is, and maintaining it. So we're keeping an even stroke and maintaining the fan speed the best that we can.
Let's talk damper settings. So I know that this is going to be very different per person, especially if you're a power athlete versus an endurance athlete. I'm a smaller athlete who definitely is an endurance athlete. I've been rowing with my rower on the line right between 5 and 6 for years, and probably since I started CrossFit, so 8+ years now. And I've been trying to be as powerful as I could because I thought that's what I needed, but I constantly would have one round in a workout of rowing and then I burned out. So what we've done with the damper is we're working more on efficiency of stroke, trying to keep my stroke rate right around 28 to 30, focusing on as the handle comes out, I release it to get it back in to keep that fan speed going. So in order for me to be able to do that, I actually now have moved my damper down to the line between 3 and 4. And that's just that's personal to me. So I think for you guys is a lot of us want to crank the damper all the way up to 10 because we want to be as powerful as possible. But what that's doing is it's creating inefficient stroke habits. So yes, it's great to be powerful. However, if that power runs out after 1 round in a 5-round workout, that's really not doing you any good. So I would suggest lowering the damper so you don't have all of this resistance to learn the skill and learn the efficiency of your stroke. And then as you get stronger and you get more comfortable, you can play with slowly raising the damper back up. We hope this video is really helpful for you. We're just scratching the surface of getting into efficiency tips with rowing. Some of these small changes, like holding the edge of the handle instead of holding in tight, or making sure we don't collapse with our back, keeping a nice flat back, are really gonna make good adjustments to your stroke. The other thing I think is the most important is you wanna think about just pushing the rower away from you. This should be a leg-driven stroke, and all of the power should be coming from your legs, not from the pull. So if your arms are burning out first, we're probably focusing too much on how we're gripping the handle and trying to yank the rower and pull with our back. We really should be driving hard with our legs and relying on our legs for the powerful stroke and the power output that we need for the efficiency. We hope this helped. We would love to know if this has changed anything or if you guys try this out, definitely tag Pat and I. And if there's any other efficiency tips for bikes, for ski ergs, for anything that you guys want to see, we would love to bring them to you. We use them a lot in training, and we work hard on trying to be as efficient as possible. We hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. If you liked it, please smash the like button. Have a good one.